episode of the Growing Patch Grub. Hopefully you've watched the first video on how to read a recipe. So in this video we're going to use that skill to make these delicious oat bars, perfect for a healthy snack while home learning. I've read the instructions, I've got all my equipment I need and all my ingredients. So let's go through the recipe step by step. So I've got all my ingredients out. I'm going to turn my oven on because remember it said to preheat the oven to 180 degrees. So I'm going to make sure my oven is 180 degrees so that it can heat up. And then next I need to get my tin because remember it said lime and grease a 20 centimetre 18 square tin. So there's my tin here. I've got a piece of paper and if you pop that over the top like that and cut the corners a little bit, your paper should fit in perfectly, just like that. Okay, now, do you remember it said to make sure the dried apple is chopped and the dried apricots are chopped? So we need to do that. So I'm going to chop up the apple, the dried apple, into tiny bits. So there's my apple chopped and I'm going to do exactly the same with the apricots. So next it says, in a saucepan, melt together the butter, sugar and golden syrup. So I've got my saucepan, so I'm going to put my butter, my sugar and the golden syrup. Now it says 60 grams, so I'm going to turn my scales on now while the saucepan's on there and I'm going to squeeze 60 grams of golden syrup and then I'm going to pop this on the hob. So while my mixture is melting, I'm going to put all the dry ingredients, so that's everything that's left, so that's the porridge oats, the coconut, I've got my apricots and apple, they're all going to go in. I've got my cranberries and salt, and then I've got my pumpkin seeds and my sunflower seeds. They're all going to go in and I'm going to give this a good mix up before I put my wet ingredients, which is the butter and the sugar mixture, on top. So my mixture is melted, so now we can pour it onto the dry ingredients. Make sure you scrape the pan out, sorry. And then give this a good mix in until it's all combined. Okay, now it says to spoon the mixture into the tin and press down with a potato masher. So I've got my potato masher, I've got my tin, so let's pour this in. Making sure to get everything out. If you haven't got a potato masher, you could use a spoon, back of a spoon or something like that. I'm sure that would be fine. So I'm going to push this down until it's nice and flat. Okay, so that's really nice and flat now. It's all pushed down. So now it says to bake in a preheated oven for 18 to 20 minutes. So I'm going to pop it in on the middle shelf. And then we'll come back in 18 minutes and see if it's cooked. Okay, so my butter's going off. Let's check if they're done. So they're nice and brown around the edges. They're looking pretty good, they're cooked. So I'm going to leave those to cool and then we'll cut them up. Okay, so I've cut it and I've managed to get 10 portions out. So now we need to try it. They're really good. See you next time. Bye.